For a car enthusiast, local car meets or events is one of the best things for you. Everybody has a common bond and all the same goal: have a good time and talk about what we love. But for people who are new to this game, it can be hard for people to get that first rolling of the dice. One of the most asked questions on this channel is, David, how do I get involved in one of these local car meets you speak of in your area? And some of it involving a few things, such as having a good attitude and a little bit of luck. But a lot of people ask me, what are these first few steps to get the ball rolling to get involved in your local area's car scene, if there is one? Out of all the towns I've traveled to, they are miniature little car scenes hidden. You just have to know where to look. Almost everybody I've talked to in these different cities I've been in have said that they have a local meet of some kind. It's an awesome place to make friends, and it's an awesome place to learn as well. It's just one of those places that once you've gone and kind of gotten yourself settled in, you're golden. So what were these first few steps that I took to get involved in a local car scene? Well, it was a little bit lucky. I will say it was lucky. Somebody approached me. They saw my car and said, have you gone to the local meets? And they told me where to go, on what day and what time, and that was that. But there are other ways of doing it. When I moved back up here to Richmond, Virginia, after being in Virginia Beach's car scene for a while, I needed a new place to go. Finding car meets is just like finding a career or a job. It's all about who you know. One thing leads to another. So the best way to get thus people is to find an event in your area that is big. Find some kind of car show online or other word of mouth to go to first that is much bigger than, say, a local meet that happens every week. Good examples: Springfest 5, Import Alliance. Import Alliance is all over the country. Those kind of meets are where you meet people. Now, to get this domino effect that you are craving to get to these other local meets, if you are an introvert, you're gonna have to be a little bit more extroverted than you usually are. Now, what do I mean? Be friendly. The best way to do it is see a car that you are interested in, and if the owner is standing by it, ask him about it. Car people love talking about their car. They do. I mean, I'm guilty of it. Everybody's guilty of it, because cars are their baby. You know, ask how long have they had it? Do they like it? Do they want to get rid of it? What would they get if they didn't have it? Just basic little questions like that. They all build up. And with that, you're building rapport with this person. You're building a relationship with this person. And with this first step, we're going to talk about possibly the most important thing when at a big car event. Have an open mind. By having an open mind, your life will be 10 times easier at these kind of events. What do I mean? Don't be biased, don't be rude, do not go up to somebody and insult their vehicle. Say you're a domestic guy and you see an import that has God knows how much horsepower, 500 or whatever, and you still are like, still stupid, it's slow. Don't be that guy. Have respect for the owner who picked that car as their platform. Guess what? It's their car. It isn't yours. Just like applying to other things, even meeting people. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. If you know a lot about a certain car, find that car. And if you can find the owner, bam, you have an instant bond with that person. And with that, like I said, you're building relationships with all these different people. Shake their hand, ask what their name is, all these sorts of things. Basic human interaction, but just in a car atmosphere. And with these huge events, like I mentioned earlier, like Import Alliance, Springfest, and Mustang Week, those kind of events, you will meet the most people. What happens when you make friends at these big car events? Well, most of the time down the grapevine, there's other meets going on. And with that, that's where it all starts. Another big rule at a car meet is you don't know everything. Nobody does. Best mindset to have is somebody always knows more than you do. Never act like you know everything. It is probably the biggest mistake you could possibly do at a car meet, because automatically you're already an unreliable source of information if you say something that's blatantly wrong. Don't act like you know about this transmission or this engine if you don't. Take away some of your pride and ask questions. I can tell you one of the most frustrating things at car meets is prejudgment as well. Judge the person, don't judge the car. I cannot tell you how many times people have judged me because I roll up in a Mustang. I cannot tell you. Oh, he drives a Mustang, he's probably a jerk. Sad but true. That's why I don't tell what kind of car I drive until they ask me, because it's human nature almost for people to judge you by your car and your personality, because as many of us know, your car is definitely a part of your personality. If you're a car enthusiast, yourself can be seen through your car. Say a car rolls in to a meet and you're standing there with your new buddies that you've just made, and you prejudge it and you go, oh, that car's stupid. Let's be honest. Car companies can go a very long way in the short time span. See, say you saw somebody coming in a Hyundai Genesis coupe. Perfect example. Hyundai used to be one of the biggest laughing stocks of the automotive world. Don't argue with me. They were. They made cheap cars that just weren't that great. They were kind of mediocre. But look at the Hyundai Genesis sedan. Look at the Hyundai coupe. It goes on and on. It just shows that a company can turn itself around and you never know what's next. So don't judge a car by its brand. Judge it by the year, the model. It's little tiny things. Little tiny things. To find these big car meets I was telling you about earlier, the best way to look at it is the internet. It really is. With the internet, the world is so small anymore that I guarantee you, if you even Googled, big car meets or car events, you'll find something, I promise you. And since cars is such a universal bond, you'll find somebody that you have a lot in common with. It's just almost natural. Oh, student driver, see that guy? He's not about it yet, but he'll find a car meet. Another huge way to get integrated with your car culture are cars and coffee events. Cars and coffee events, also known as caffeine and octane in some cities, is a perfect way to get integrated in the car scene. Not only will you get to see usually the high dollar stuff, exotics, Lamborghini, Ferrari, McLaren, etc., you'll meet most of the easiest crowd to talk to. It's for absolutely everybody. You could be driving a 79 Corolla with one hubcap and people won't care. You're there because you love cars. So at that Cars and Coffee event, maybe you'll hear about the other events going on, or maybe you'll hear about the next night meet. You never know. You just have to have that open mind. Now, when it comes to being introverted, which is hard for a lot of people, including myself, I can completely relate to that. I told a story a few vlogs ago that I went to a Cars and Coffee event for my first time all by myself. But with that, I met my best friend I ever had. And you have to have that mindset of make yourself go to these. No matter how intimidating it seems to go somewhere by yourself, if you love cars enough, or you love this hobby, or you are craving to get into this scene, make yourself go and you won't regret it. Because odds are, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? Tell me what the worst thing's gonna happen. Somebody just gonna neglect you? Is somebody just gonna say, I don't wanna talk to you? Most of the time, people aren't gonna tell you to your face, I don't wanna talk to you. So don't let yourself think that way. If somebody doesn't wanna talk to you or they're being short with you, guess what? It's their loss. Don't worry about it. They just weren't worth your time. Don't even let it affect you. With these car meets, you have this huge advantage that you have this never-ending love for this hobby and this never-ending love for all these new friends and acquaintances. You get to see all these awesome people every week, and it means the world to me every time I go. I know it's one of the first things I look forward to every week. And not only that, I said before, it's a perfect place to learn. Say you didn't know about a certain brand. Say you didn't know Honda. Honda is a perfect example. When I came back to Richmond, which is a very intense Honda scene, I'm in a Mustang, okay? A lot of people weren't a fan, but that's okay. I learned the lingo, I adapted. You have to learn about their engines and setups, B series, K series, J series, H series, it goes on and on. But when I heard everybody talking like that, you know what I did? I went home and I looked it up and I learned. You have to push yourself in order to be part of the conversation so you're not lost all the time. If somebody didn't know a lot about Mustangs, if they asked me a question, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna call them stupid. I'm just gonna tell them. That's unacceptable behavior for people to call people stupid because they didn't know something. Maybe it wasn't their niche. Maybe they weren't raised in a muscle or an import family. You just have to look at it from everybody else's perspective. Yeah, chances are, even if you're biased, you'll meet somebody who are just as biased as you. But I'm telling you, man, you are missing out on the rest of the car scene. Like with my car reviews, for example, if I was biased, I wouldn't get the chance to drive these awesome cars. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to say no to driving cars like Jasmine or Nessa or Zach's Hatch just because I drive a muscle car? Blasphemy. It's stupid. It's like, oh yeah, I drive a Mustang, so I can't ever approve import. It's stupid. It's stupid. If you don't like a car, have a legitimate reason why you don't like the car. Don't be that guy and just go, it's stupid. I kid you not. My first night I ever went to the Richmond meet here, I pulled in with this car on the first day I had it. The first day. Pulled in and a guy came up to me and he goes, why'd you buy this piece of crap? And I was like, excuse me? You know what he knew about this car? Yes. Nothing. You know what he drove? He drove a single cam D series with a fart can on it. It's always the people who don't have the car to back them up who talk crap. Almost always. So don't let it get to you. But that's just a perfect example of what prejudgment looks like. It's so silly to the point that you almost have to laugh at it. I know that a lot of this stuff sounds very obvious to you guys. I know you're not stupid, but it is common courtesy. I hope I was able to help a lot of you guys out with this. And if you haven't gotten into the car scene yet, I hope this all helps. So go out, look it up online, meet people, be awesome. So I will see you guys next time, and take it easy.